Greetings from home, dear ones. This day is a magic time. You have changed so much on your planet. You have shifted so much energy that you are seeing it happen right in front of your eyes. It is magical, and we applaud all the humans. We also applaud the family of Eve for the incredible work you've done over many lifetimes. You are here to help people remember their power. Well done, humans. Now, there is much work to do, obviously. There is still much more that is taking place that we wish to share with you. But you have started to uncover your own history. Yes, it was not that long ago, dear ones, that you sent your first spaceship, your first space probe to Mars, only recently. And we tell you that there will be a time when you discover life, even on Mars, not currently existing in the way that it did, but you will discover different forms of life that you will understand a bit more, that were started by the same 6 parental races that began with Earth. Now, they did not create Earth. Let's get that very clear. You did. You are the spirits, dear ones, that were there from the very beginning, nurturing this beautiful hot ball of magma floating in space, third rock from the sun. And you nurtured it. You were not in physical body. Physical bodies would not exist on the planet then, but you were in light body. And you nurtured that planet. And many of you have done this with several other planets that have evolved throughout the universe that now have life. And we tell you this is a beautiful story. Because when you start to understand what some of this is about, you will be looking at your own history on planet Earth. Ever since we have told that there were 6 parental races, everyone has wanted to know, what are they? I think this was this and this is this. Everyone has their own ideas. And yet it is very difficult for us to give you those names. Because when we give you a name such as Sirius or Pallades or any of the other ones which you have labeled, you must understand that these are human names which are placed upon these stars. Now, the interesting part is there is a rhythm that connects them all. Because even though you believe that you have made up any of these names, they have not been made up, nor have the stories that go behind them. It is simply an interpretation. It's another way to read the same story. And it's very exciting, because now you're starting to uncover the rest of the story, and you're starting to see more process around what this is. Now, we take you back many years, about 8 years, and we share with you that at that time, 8 and 9 years ago, we were speaking very clearly that there would be more planets discovered in your solar system, and to watch for that as a trigger. Well, you did that, and you decided they wouldn't be planets. You decided not only would they not be planets, but you would reclassify Pluto, one of your smallest planets, as one of the dwarf planets as well. Well, they showed up, all of them, and Ceres. Ceres is the best. So you are got to find some very magical pieces. Let us share with you part of the energy that goes back before the formation of planet Earth. You have all this debris floating in space, basically. Well, dear ones, debris, matter, if you will, forms around energy. The moment you have energy in any form, it attracts matter to create a material expression of that energy. And that is exactly what took place. So as all of this debris started floating in space, many of you were there. Many of you were the ones helping to form these planets and saying, oh, wouldn't it be nice if you had another circular part right here? And of course, the big challenge was the planet that was to form between Mars and Jupiter. Never formed, because every time this debris would come around, the massive pull of Jupiter would pull it apart again and left a debris trail which was very magical. But That is not the full story. There is much more to this than that. And we will tell this in increments, but let us tell you the basic idea of what has taken place. Because during the formation of your solar system, which you were a part of, magic happened. And you wanted so much to recreate an energy very similar to that you had left at home. It included another planet. And what we tell you is, dear ones, when Jupiter kept pulling this piece apart, and instead of congealing into a beautiful planet, it literally was distributed in a wide, huge circle of debris, which you now call your inner debris field, or the inner belt of asteroids. And what happened here is that when this did not form, that energy went further out to what you are now calling the Kuiper Belt. Very fascinating, because you did not know the Kuiper Belt was there until recently. These are recent discoveries, and they are huge. They are monstrous in nature. So what took place was this planet, the essence and the heart of that planet, went to Pluto. Now, you have seen Pluto as the very small being that it is, but in the beginning it was forming to take the essence of this sister planet, which was trying to form inside between Mars and Jupiter. Now, the energy of that is trying to form and congeal around Pluto. It was simply too much. It was simply too difficult to change that energy. But you had seen miracles before, and you went to shape this energy. And it worked for a time, dear ones. It absolutely worked. And you will find that evidence eventually. You're not on target to find it right away, but it will be there to show you some of these changes in this credible energy that happened. So what took place with Pluto? Well, the Pluto that you see today is not this Pluto that tried to carry all this energy. It could not carry it either. It was in the wrong place to have the right nurturing of environment, of magnetic pull, as well as radiation from the sun. And everything took a different turn, and at one point it separated. Now what you see today is perfectly round. It has gone through quite a bit to come back into that. But what you are seeing is Ceres, is the heart of this planet. And it carries the same energy that it would have had it been a planet in your solar system. This would have been your closest neighbor where life could have formed. And it didn't. Now that heart of the energy has made its way back into the inner belt, and is now traveling to connect many of the pieces of its original purpose. Will a planet form now between Jupiter and Mars? It may take some time, but that is in motion. And we tell you it's probably not going to be during your lifetime. It takes a long time to form planets, but it will be during your lifetime as a spirit invested on planet Earth. You're seeing major changes that will shift every part of your humanity. The changes that you are seeing today in your perceptions come from the simple rays of vibration. When you raise something up, they can see farther. There's less restrictions of their point of perception. And you are seeing this massively in your planet. It is wondrous for you to reevaluate all your previous positions, and much of your BS, your belief systems, is going away. You are opening to new possibilities. This is as it should be, because now we have excited the mind of God and the heart of God, all of you. You understand what is taking place, and what you don't understand is the excitement that is all around you. Yes, many of you have been in survival. It has been quite difficult for some of you to ground your energy in a positive way, to find your place in the new world. And even the things that you were successful with in the third dimension don't seem to work now, or they work differently. Well, that is part of the evolution that all of you are going through. If you can remember the larger picture, the larger feeling, you will understand there's very little that you need to do. You are on path. You are on the target to find the path of least resistance in every single one of your lives. And as the collective raises in vibration, you suddenly shift. And things 5 years ago that could not even be talked about are now coming up in front of all of you for reinvestigation. Very well done, and we tell you, the heart of Ceres is coming back. It is starting to have an effect on many humans. Why? Because you have discovered it. Very simply, you are now focusing on a new miracle, a piece that has been floating around very close to your own third rock from the sun for a very long time. And now you're going to find the influences of it, which are huge, much more than what you would think of. Or even in your astrology, dear ones, you think of the larger planets as having a greater pull. Not necessarily so. Now what is taking place is that you will see the subtle energies are more important than the large energies. You have always measured things by how strong, how big, how massive. Now you will start to measure things by the effect they have. And we tell you it's very possible that you will find a new rhythm for yourself as you start to discover the importance of all the subtle energies on planet Earth. What you see, you have learned to measure magnetism, which is a very important tool on your planet in many different areas, but you've only managed to measure it in one of the many areas in which it is used. You do not know how to measure the magnetism and the slight magnetic variations of your heart, which actually create much of the world around you. So you still have not completely connected your science and your spirituality, although every day these things are starting to move in a different way. We have never had to deal with a hair in his eye, but there it is, so we will remove it as best we can. Thank you. So here you are, moving into this whole new way, seeing things from a larger perspective every day. And all we ask you to do is be willing to let go of that which no longer serves you. Much of what you carry through your life, dear ones, is out of habit. Are you ready to shift your life even more than you have? All of you have taken a step or several steps forward to claim your place as a conscious creator on this beautiful planet, this evolution which is taking place right in front of everyone's eyes. The magic is here. Now, do you have your setbacks? Do you have your push against the wave? Of course you do. You see it in ISIS. You see it in many places where the fear comes up. Now, that is the question. How can you watch that? How can you see this? How can you address this without the fear? It's very simple, dear one. There's only one thing to be afraid of in your history, and that is death. Humans are mostly afraid of death until they do the inner work that alleviates some of that greatest fear. Or perhaps they have actually stepped out of their body, experienced it, and come back. They carry no fear from that point forward of death. And that is the number one fear, because it's only possible to be afraid of the unknown. So when people start using fear intentionally to get what they want in the world, it has a backlash, and you will see it. It is gaining speed still on this planet. You are seeing many people join these groups out of the hopes of freedom. At some point, you will see the freedom which they experience once they join the groups. All of this will go away in time. It is not a new war that must be fought. It is an incorporation of all the energies. What can you love about those who behead other people? How can you see yourself in this environment? As long as you try to make them the bad guy, you are missing the boat. Because all humans are connected. Find that part of you which is them. Address it, feel it, and love it. And then let it go. And you'll start seeing some changes in the collective vibration of humanity. You are seeing it now with your governments. And although governments, and even certain governments which have made recent decisions called the United States Supreme Court, they are not bound to make decisions which the public or the collective vibration agrees with. And in fact, in the previous history of their decisions, very few of them are always with the collective vibration of humanity. That will start changing as well. You will see a harmony starting to place on planet Earth. You are responsible for much of this. If we could show you some of the histories that you have had on planet Earth, some of the previous lifetimes, even in light body, where you nurtured this hot ball of gaseous forming on Earth, you would be very proud of your history. You have nurtured humanity and planet Earth, and we hope you own it. We know that there are many of you who are wondering what you are doing here. Where did I sign this contract? I want to see the small print. Well, dear ones, you did. And almost all of you are where you wanted to be. Now, does it mean that you are happy and that you are content where you are? No, that is not the nature of humans. Oh, dear ones, you know that. The grass is always greener, so search for it. Enjoy what you have in this moment, but do not judge yourself. That is the main piece. You are conscious creators. You have the creation ability of God within each and every one of you. Now, why can you not make things happen immediately? Well, that was a collective decision to hide this power from you until you could harmonize. That is starting. And we tell you the planets lead the way with this as well. Many of you will start to see this in your astrology and even your astronomy if you can interpret it. Watch the stars, dear ones. You will discover much. And we also tell you something very interesting, because in the not too distant future, probably 5 to 6 years from now, you will start discovering planets which are very far out there that you did not know and have not seen before. Well, of course, imagine this as a discovery. But have you ever considered that maybe the planet just appeared? You have more to fathom than you could possibly imagine. There is so much coming, dear ones, when you hear these beautiful stories of the pyramids. And what was the pyramid exactly? We tell you, you still have not discovered 50% of the pyramids on your own planet. They are generators, dear ones. That's exactly what they were. Power transformers to bring the energy from the earth and to use it in one of several forms. It is originally how your own ionosphere was formed so that you could breathe and be on planet Earth. Many of these pieces will start to uncover, and not only will you discover these in space, but you'll discover more of them on your planet. Many of them are there reawakening as you are. It is the greatest time for all of you to be here, dear ones. It is so exciting for us to watch as you uncover the next piece, as you turn that next page and start into it. You are magical. But above all, remember, please, that you are never alone. It is those around you, even though some of you have great deals of difficulty, harmonizing. That is what will bring you all back together to the next level. You are in the stage, the third wave of harmony, which means, how can I see the other yous? Every person is connected to you in some way. And we tell you, you have that magic within you. You have the beautiful sayings talking about the other you. Well, open your eyes, dear ones. They are all around you. It is with the greatest of honor that we address you in these ways and bring you these incredible updates from our perspective of your incredible vision. Keep up this great work, dear ones. Know that you are advancing Earth and all of humanity more than you can imagine. Celebrate those times when you come together, when you are able to make those connections with the other yous. It's a time for the awakening of conscious creators on planet Earth. Aspavo, dear ones.